So when it comes to negative experiences in the workplace, like essentially, have you ever been in a scenario where you feel like either a client or your boss is taking you or your work for granted and pushing you a lot further than they're willing to pay for? And like, how would you respond to those scenarios if you've ever been in one?
Yeah, I've had that many times. I'll answer that from the perspective of a freelancer,
Mm-hmm.
like just with my photography alone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so with my photography, there have been scenarios where having to go the extra mile is a little bit like part and parcel of
Mm-hmm.
being a freelancer. But
Mm-hmm.
there have been definitely times when I've been like exploited or kind of taken for granted of.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I guess there's a few main kind of key like takeaway points, and they almost sound obvious, but when you're in the situation,
Yeah.
you're kind of conditioned to think that you should just tolerate
Mm.
certain negative behaviors, and you think that there'll be a payoff or a reward, but they not necessarily will be. A good example for me would be when I first arrived in Finland,
Mm-hmm.
I got a job at a photography studio doing portraits, I'll add. And for me at that time, it was like a really big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, great, I'm in another country. I've landed a job at a
Yeah.
photography studio. Like, like
Mm-hmm.
thinking, oh, like the studying kind of paid off. And I was like working just beneath the owner of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
But soon enough, I found myself like working for free
Mm-hmm.
and not like a few hours here and there, but literally like days where I was
Wow.
like working for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, I was putting in hours and really helping them. And I can't go into details, but I think the turning point was one day when I glanced on this computer screen and I saw how much money the photographer made from the shoot
Mm-hmm.
that I'd assisted on and edited the photos.
Yeah.
So all the owner did was literally press the button,
Mm-hmm.
and I did like lighting, and then processing in Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that this client,
Mm-hmm.
she paid for like a minimum kind of fee, as it were,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still like 600 euros, and I got like, you wouldn't even believe it, like. I think off the top of my head, I think I got like 50 euros from that whole thing.
Wow.
And there was a lot of like unpaid hours.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So there are definitely these moments as a freelancer. So I guess the main thing is if people expect you to work for free, then don't. Like
Yeah.
you need to realize your worth
Mm.
and you need to learn how to say no to people
Yeah.
and be like confident, because if people think that you're a yes man and you'll say anything and you'll do anything they want, then they really will take advantage of you.
Mm. And that's thank you so much for saying that, Chris. And like, it's I obviously I was there. Well, you've told me about a lot of these things, but just emphasizing the point of knowing your worth and what you just said right now, knowing how to say no. Because I feel like so many people our age in the professional workplace are. It's so easy to take advantage of people our age, especially people that aren't. That don't not that blah blah blah. People that don't have a lot of confidence, or people that aren't used to saying no. You know, you've got managers like, oh yeah, so you're gonna stay an extra hour to do this, right? But oh, Sally really needs this, or you know, Michael really needs this. It's like you need to learn how to say no. No, I respect you. Like, oh geez, my mouth now. The number one asset we all have is our time, you know, and the last thing we need is people wasting it without actually compensating us. So it's. You need to learn how to see the signs. If someone is... I can't think of any of those myself personally, because I think through my parents just always taught me to be pretty outspoken, and when someone's screwing me over, I have a big sense for that. Probably also to my own detriment as well, but I'll probably make a video on that eventually. I don't know, when something just doesn't feel right, when you feel like I'm putting in X amount of time or effort into something and not receiving any compensation for it, it's like Kris said, it's easy to fall into the trap like, oh, maybe this will pay off, oh, I'll this person will be in my favor. No, they'll just be like, ha, this person's just a tool now. I can keep on doing this same repeated behavior. Someone that respects you and respects your time will compensate you straight away. There won't be any question about it.
Yeah,